Have you ever wondered why you suddenly feel disconnected from friends, family, or even society? It might not be what you think. This isolation could be a sign of something much deeper, your spiritual awakening. Today, we're diving into the 5 powerful signs that show you're undergoing a profound transformation, and why they might be leaving you feeling alone. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this is happening, but also how to embrace this journey to connect with your true self. We all go through periods in life when things just don't feel the same anymore. Maybe you've noticed a growing sense of disconnect between yourself and your friends. Maybe you've started to question the point of those casual get-togethers, the gossip, the small talk. You might even feel like you're becoming isolated or losing the people you once loved to spend time with. But what if this isn't a bad thing? What if this loneliness and disconnection are actually signs of something much deeper? In today's video, we're talking about spiritual awakening, an experience that can completely transform your life from the inside out. We'll be covering the 5 major signs of spiritual awakening and why they often make you feel lonely, disconnected, or like you no longer belong. But here's the key. That feeling of isolation, it's actually a sign that you're on the right path. By the end of this journey, you'll find deeper connections, greater purpose, and a sense of authenticity that goes beyond the surface level of life. Feeling isolated is often the first sign of a spiritual awakening. Have you ever felt like you're on a different wavelength than everyone else? Like you're hearing a different tune, seeing different colors, or sensing things others can't? This isn't just your imagination. It's the beginning of a profound transformation. When you start to awaken spiritually, you undergo an inner shift that fundamentally changes how you perceive the world and your relationships. Suddenly, the things that used to matter, like what your friends think, or whether you're invited to a party, just don't feel important anymore. You're starting to tune into a deeper frequency. Example: let's say you used to hang out with a group of friends every weekend, going to bars, chatting about sports, work, or gossip. But one day, you realize these conversations feel empty. You feel like an outsider in a room full of people. You still care about your friends, but the connection feels different now. Shallow, like a layer of your soul is missing. This disconnect doesn't mean you've outgrown your friends or that you're better than them. It's just that your inner world is shifting, and with that shift, your external world begins to change. You might find yourself withdrawing from social gatherings, not because you're antisocial, but because your spirit is seeking deeper, more meaningful interactions. In fact, this sense of isolation is a common part of spiritual growth. You might feel like no one understands what you're going through, but the truth is, you're not alone. Countless others have experienced the same feelings during their awakening. Why isolation occurs. During spiritual awakening, shift in priorities. When you're awakening, the things that used to bring you joy no longer have the same effect. Shallow conversations, casual relationships, and surface-level interactions feel draining. Your soul is craving something deeper. Change in energy. As you elevate your consciousness, your energy vibrates at a higher frequency. This can create a sense of distance between you and others who are still operating at their usual energetic frequency. It's not that you're above them, but your energy is simply no longer in alignment with certain people or environments. The dark night of the soul. Often, a spiritual awakening is accompanied by a period known as the dark night of the soul. This is a time when you may feel like everything is falling apart, that your world is crumbling. Old habits, friendships, and belief systems are breaking down to make room for the new. This period can be deeply isolating, but it's an essential part of your transformation. Personal story. Years ago, when I started experiencing my own spiritual awakening, I felt like I was losing everything. I didn't enjoy the same activities anymore, and I found it hard to connect with my closest friends. It felt as though I was being pulled away from the life I once knew. I went from being the social butterfly of the group to craving time alone. But with time, I realized this was happening for a reason. My soul needed space to grow, and that meant stepping away from relationships and activities that no longer served me. The second sign of spiritual awakening is an increased sensitivity to everything around you. Emotions, energy, sounds, even light. This can feel overwhelming at first, but it's a crucial part of your spiritual journey. Why does this happen? As you awaken spiritually, your awareness expands. You start to tap into subtler energies and emotions that were previously beneath your conscious awareness. This increased sensitivity isn't just emotional. It can affect all of your senses. Colors might appear more vibrant. Music might stir deep emotions in you, and crowded places might feel more chaotic than they used to. Emotional sensitivity. You might notice you're more empathetic toward others. You can sense their pain or joy on a deeper level, and this can feel like both a blessing and a burden. You might find yourself crying over things that never used to bother you, like a movie scene, a piece of music, or even a news story. While this sensitivity can make you feel raw and exposed, it's also a sign that your heart is opening. You're starting to experience the world with greater depth. Physical sensitivity. Beyond emotions, your physical senses may also become heightened. You might notice subtler details, like the texture of a fabric, the taste of food, or even the way sunlight falls on your skin. This can be beautiful, but it can also feel overstimulating at times. Example. Let's say you're at a concert. Before your awakening, you could enjoy the music, the lights, and the crowd. But now, everything feels too much. The noise is too loud. The lights are too bright, and the energy of the people around you feels overwhelming. This isn't because you're becoming fragile. It's because your awareness is expanding. The third sign of spiritual awakening is the quest for authenticity. As you go through this transformation, you start questioning everything: your beliefs, your relationships, your career, and even the meaning of life. The superficial no longer satisfies you. You may find yourself asking, "Who am I, really?" You start to peel away the layers of societal conditioning, family expectations, and old habits. You want to live in alignment with your true self, and this means letting go of anything that no longer resonates with your soul. Uncovering your true self. Spiritual awakening often involves a process of deep introspection. You begin to explore the parts of yourself that you've hidden or suppressed, your fears, insecurities, desires, and dreams. This process can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront the truth about who you are. Example. Imagine you've spent most of your life chasing external validation, getting the right job, earning money, climbing the social ladder. But after your awakening, those things no longer fulfill you. You start to question whether you've been living according to your own values or someone else's. This is the beginning of your quest for authenticity. You might quit your job, move to a new city, or start pursuing a passion that you've always ignored. These changes can be scary, but they're necessary for your growth. Historical example. Take Henry David Thoreau, for instance. He retreated to a small cabin in the woods to live simply and reflect on life, as documented in his famous work, Walden. Thoreau's quest for authenticity led him to strip away the unnecessary layers of society and live in harmony with nature. His search for truth and meaning is a perfect example of what many people experience during spiritual awakening. One of the most profound signs of spiritual awakening is the emergence of a new sense of purpose. As you evolve spiritually, you start to see that the things you once chased, money, success, approval, don't hold the same weight anymore. Instead, you're drawn to pursuits that align with your soul's calling. What is soul purpose? Your soul purpose is the unique contribution you're here to make in the world. It's not about your job title or how much money you make. It's about living in a way that feels meaningful and aligned with your higher self. This could be anything from teaching, healing, creating art, or simply spreading kindness in your everyday interactions. Example: maybe you've worked in a corporate job for years, but after your awakening, you feel a deep longing to do something more creative or fulfilling. You might start exploring new hobbies, volunteering, or even changing careers to something that resonates with your soul's purpose. Practical advice: to discover your soul purpose, start by paying attention to the things that make you feel alive. What activities light you up? What conversations leave you feeling energized rather than drained? These are clues to your true purpose. You don't have to make a drastic life change right away. Start by following these breadcrumbs of joy and see where they lead. One of the most profound signs of spiritual awakening is the emergence of a new sense of purpose. As you evolve spiritually, you start to see that the things you once chased, money, success, approval, don't hold the same weight anymore. Instead, you're drawn to pursuits that align with your soul's calling. What is soul purpose? Your soul purpose is the unique contribution you're here to make in the world. It's not about your job title or how much money you make. It's about living in a way that feels meaningful and aligned with your higher self. This could be anything from teaching, healing, creating art, or simply spreading kindness in your everyday interactions. Example: maybe you've worked in a corporate job for years, but after your awakening, you feel a deep longing to do something more creative or fulfilling. You might start exploring new hobbies, volunteering, or even changing careers to something that resonates with your soul's purpose. Practical advice: to discover your soul purpose, start by paying attention to the things that make you feel alive. What activities light you up? What conversations leave you feeling energized rather than drained? These are clues to your true purpose. You don't have to make a drastic life change right away. Start by following these breadcrumbs of joy and see where they lead. Spiritual awakening is not a smooth or easy path, but it's one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. Each of these signs, feeling isolated, increased sensitivity, the quest for authenticity, a new sense of purpose, and expanded consciousness, are part of your journey toward becoming your highest self. If you're feeling alone, remember that this is a temporary phase, and on the other side of this isolation is a deeper connection with yourself and the universe. You are on the path of awakening, and this journey is guiding you toward a more authentic, fulfilling, and compassionate life. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of spiritual awakening. If you've experienced any of these signs, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might be on the same path.